Hey everybody, it's Greg Rice. We're here in the Bucket, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And self-help eviction. Can you do them? Should you do them? Why would you do them? What is a self-help eviction? So what it is you as a landlord go into a property and physically, forcefully if necessary, removing the tenant. It happens. It still happens to this day. It happened more so in the old days, right? Old landlords that I've come across, they said, Greg, what we used to do is we'd go to the door. We'd go to the door and say, where's the money? And the person would say, I don't have the money. I'll get it to you next week. And at that point, they'd step aside and there'd be a large person that comes in with a bat or something and assaults them, teaches them what they think would be a lesson, and removes them. Throws their stuff on the curb, throws their stuff on the grass, get out, changing the locks. So, very, very rare. But one that stuck out in my mind was actually during COVID. And you might have heard of it. It was in Providence. And at this time, COVID was just beginning rampant. And I would say it was probably spring, summer of 2020. The landlord went to the apartment because the tenant owed X amount of rents at this point. And he physically removed the doors to the tenant's apartment. Just took them off. Zip, zip. Taking the doors. And this is a tenement house. That is what's considered a self-help eviction. Now, he didn't physically remove the tenant, right? He didn't touch the tenant. He didn't assault the tenant. He didn't threaten the tenant. But he did something that was so blatant and unfair that he got arrested, I believe. So my point today is that those days are over. The legal system is so refined and so efficient, even though it is slow in your opinion, even though you think it's clunky and expensive, but in the spectrum of time, it's gotten as efficient as possible for two reasons. Number one, to ensure that you get your property back. It is your property. And number two, so that the state, the country, does not have an overwhelming homeless population. So there's dual interests that are aligned. Yes, it's private property, but yes, this is a public citizen. Or maybe not even a citizen. This is a public person. So we can't just throw them out on the streets quickly and expect our society is going to run smooth. So there needs to be processes in place. So when you consider the core process, yes, it's going to take 2 months. Yes, it's going to cost you too much. And the tenant, they're not going to pay you during that time. It is never enough of a reason for you to do something like a self-help eviction. Don't do it. Because what's going to happen is the tenant's going to stay. You're going to be in jail. You're going to need another lawyer. You're going to need an eviction lawyer and a defense attorney. Don't do it. What I can say, there's two caveats. If you don't want to do the eviction, you don't want to do your self-help eviction, obviously, you can get some type of agreement. Okay, you can say, all right, vacate on the 1st, I'm going to give you $1,000. Cash for keys, it's called. Just made a video previously. It works. It's not a foolproof method. It's not for the weary. It's not for the weak-hearted. It gets messy, but it's an option. And then the second option is just a straight move out. Hey, listen, tenant, you have to move out at the end of the month, but what I'll do is I won't file an eviction. This won't appear on your credit report. This won't prevent you from buying a house in the future. This won't prevent you from getting any type of loan in the future. I won't do that to you if you agree to vacate. And the tenant may be like, listen, don't file. I don't want that mark on my record. I don't want it. I'll vacate. Just give me 2 weeks. And then, okay, you have a loose agreement there. It's not binding. It's not enforceable. It could be written. You can get it in an email or a text. But those are your only two options other than the regular eviction process. Don't be the self-help person that goes there and tries to be intimidator, it's not going to end well. Today's society does not allow for it, and frankly, humanity doesn't allow for it. So don't be that person, all right? Once again, Greg Rice here in the bucket, your property and your evictions managed.